Hello, this is first of several conversations I'm conducting with people I know or worked with around career transition and getting a taste of feel of how people have progressed in their careers and in their work to date. First of these conversations is with Tom Evans, and Tom is with me today. And Tom, some questions for you. Firstly, how did you make the transition from being an IT consultant to becoming an author's mentor, literary agent, and an author in your own right on inspiration and creativity?
Well, I think it's fair to say, Peter, and hello to you, is that it was by accident. You couldn't design the transition that I've done, because if someone told me 5 or 6 years ago I'd be doing this now, I wouldn't have believed them, and maybe I also wouldn't have had the confidence to do what I've done and make such a drastic change. And it all happened by me writing a book as a favour for a friend, because she wanted some words to go with her lovely graphic design. And I was really amazed when people started to download the book and pay for it, and everything kind of kicked off from there, really.
That's great. And in those early times, and perhaps as you got going, I mean, what was the biggest hurdle you overcame?
Well, I think the biggest hurdle was this: is that what happened was I published this book, people started to download it, and then I made it into a printed book. And because I was a techie, I made it into an MP3 book, which is audio, an MP4 book, which is video, and last year I made it into an iPhone app. And it's a great example of how you can take one piece of work and multi-purpose it for different platforms. And the kind of hurdle that I had was this: is that people started to approach me then saying, "Oh, that's interesting, Tom, I've got an idea for a book, could you help me?" And it was kind of meeting their expectations and also balancing between the work I was doing on my own side with my own books and the client work, if you remember, and getting that lovely balance between the two, where there's enough client work coming in to sort of keep the home fires burning, but I'm also leaving enough creative time to work on my own. Now, I'm honest with you, I think it's taken me about 4 or 5 years to get that balance right now.
Yes, and so often people have to do that balance in the short term until they get momentum.
Yeah, yeah. What I was doing, I was working so much on the client work. I was getting none of my own stuff done. And I think that was also, I guess, also just getting my expertise, getting good references, and if you like, proving that this new venture worked.
Yeah, Tom, what would you say has been the biggest benefit?
Well, the biggest benefit is what I'm doing now, because I'm sitting in my home office. My commute is 30 seconds. I either meet clients or people like you over Skype, over the internet, or they come to see me. So I don't commute anymore. I'm doing a job which I love, and they say when you love the work you do, you never work again. Enough clients seems to come through all the time without me doing anything, so I don't have to do too much marketing. Do a little bit of networking, as you know, because that's where we met, but not too much heavy marketing, if you like, classic marketing. And in fact, my marketing is my work. So if I'm producing content, either in the form of books or blogs or articles or podcasts or vodcasts, that seems to be the stuff that brings the right clients in at the right time.
Sure, and that's great. What I'm interested to know, what difference has it made to you to have published books?
I think they're certainly for non-fiction books, they're the best business card you'll ever have. It allows you to demonstrate your expertise. It allows you to explore. I mean, I'm a different person now than I used to be. But if somebody wants to know about the work that I can do, if I meet them in a business context, then I'll quite often give them a book and say, look, that's what I do, read the book, you get to know about the work I can do with you. And then, I don't know, a month later or something, or 6 months later, someone gives me a call and said, I've got that perfect project now, can you come and weave your magic on this project or in this business?
That's great. I mean, with all of us in small businesses, and particularly people starting for the same time, it's about getting clients. I mean, how do you get clients and people to know about you?
Well, I've got I do a lot on the internet. So I've got a couple of blogs, in fact, because I've got a blog for the publishing consultancy side of my business, and I've got a blog for me as an author. And they're kind of two distinct things, but joined at the hip. active on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. And also I'm very fortunate now that I've gone over a tipping point where I'm being invited to go and talk at places. So people put a crowd in front of me and ask me to come and talk as on the subject of the books. I get introduced to potential clients that way, and virtually every talk I've done I've ended up with 2-3 clients that have come forward. So a fantastic way to work, and very low energy.
That's great, and you're starting to make a name for yourself, as I know only too well.
Thank you.
So, if someone wants to make a similar transition that you've done, how do you recommend they go about it?
Well, I think the first, in hindsight, the first thing to do is to set high goals for what you want to achieve in your own lifestyle, and what you want your work to do out with your readership base. So that's if you're going to make that transition into being an author. And no matter what you do, having a book is a really good thing to have, because you get perceived as an expert in your domain. But so the first thing you do is set really high goals and make them as high as possible. So for example, one of my goals is that it's not about the books, it's not about being a bestseller. I want everybody to tap into their natural creative muse, because I think if everyone on the planet is doing that, then we're going to have a slightly different planet. So I've got a really high goal that I want people to be tapped into creativity, not fostering negativity or worries and fears and things like that. And my books actually talk through that series. So I started off writing a book about blocks, the fears that stop us, then I wrote a book about the thoughts that we have, then I wrote a book about ideas and light bulb moments. So the whole sequence of books takes people through that transition. So start with a really, really high goal, and then what happens is you'll find that serendipity and chance and meetings will line up just to help you. So you just meet the right people at the right time. So for example, all my publishers I've met at the right time. I've not had that issue where I send manuscripts off and I get rejection letters. The publishers have just turned up when I need them. The right contacts have turned up. The speaking engagements just turn up. And in fact, even this conversation with you today, Peter, turned up from a chance meeting, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We talked about it a few months ago.
That's
so, no, this is really good, and your infectious enthusiasm really transmits itself, and that's what I want to capture, quite apart from the amazing journey you've had. I hate the word journey, but it is a journey, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not been roller coasters. Not that other cliche you see on X Factor and Strictly Come Dancing and the like. It's not been a roller coaster. It's been a very smooth, steady progress with some lovely high points, and always going upwards. You know, and not looking back on the past. Actually, I tap into the past. I use my IT consultancy and my knowledge of computers and the internet and broadcasting to do the work that I do. But I don't sort of dwell on it, and I don't worry about all those times where I had a mini breakdown in my mid-40s. These are all formative things on the way to getting into this position.
Oh, that's excellent. Tremendous role model for other people, and I mean, thanks very much for your time. And as ever, it's great to talk to you, but particularly keen to hear what you've done, and I look forward to catching up with you again soon. So thanks for your time.
Thank you, Peter. It's been great. Take care.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.